In a kingdom veiled by misty mountains and flowing rivers that glittered like molten silver, there ruled a queen whose beauty and wisdom were unmatched. She was a mother to 7 daughters, each more enchanting than the last. The queen, though regal and composed before her people, bore a heart weighed down with sorrow and secrets. Among her daughters, the youngest, Elara, was her most beloved. With golden hair like the first rays of dawn and eyes bright as sunlight upon the lakes, she carried an innocence and purity that seemed almost otherworldly. The kingdom had flourished under the queen's care. Its lands were rich, its people content, and magic, though rare, thrived in hidden corners of the forests and mountains. Yet, peace is always fragile, and darkness waited silently beyond the borders, in the shadows of envy and revenge. A sorceress, exiled long ago for her cruelty, had never forgiven the queen's family for thwarting her schemes. Her heart, blackened by hatred, yearned for vengeance, and she had discovered the existence of a magical veil, whispered in the oldest legends of the kingdom. This veil was unlike any other artifact. It was spun from threads of silver that captured moonlight, adorned with diamonds that shimmered like stars, and enchanted with the essence of life itself. Legends said that whoever wore it could wield infinite power, but it demanded a price, a life of someone dearly loved. Over the centuries, many sought the veil, yet few survived its trials. Its magic was merciless, absolute, and intelligent, recognizing the true heart behind the sacrifice it required. The queen had known of the veil since her youth, when she had studied magic under the guidance of the kingdom's oldest enchantress. She had learned that it was not meant to be touched, not to be coveted, and certainly not to be defied. But now, as the sorceress approached her kingdom with shadows and malice in her wake, the veil itself revealed its will in a vision: a life must be given to protect the realm, and that life was Elara. Horror gripped the queen. The very thought of sacrificing her daughter was unbearable. Nights passed with her wandering the castle halls, clutching Elara as she slept, her tiny hands pressed against her cheek. Each heartbeat of the child was like a drum of life, each breath a reminder of innocence too pure to be extinguished. Yet the magic was inescapable. If the veil's demand was unmet, darkness would swallow the kingdom, and all would be lost to the sorceress's wrath. The queen, known for her wisdom, turned to every spell she had ever learned, every charm, every hidden incantation. She consulted her ancient books, seeking loopholes in the veil's cruel decree. She even called upon the spirits of her ancestors, those who had walked these lands long before her reign, seeking guidance and mercy. Yet the veil's magic was unyielding, a force that could not be outwitted, only honored. The queen realized that she must act. When the sorceress finally arrived, cloaked in a storm of dark energy and anger, the queen was ready. She led Elara to the chamber of the veil, a vast hall illuminated by the flickering glow of enchanted torches. The veil hovered in the center, suspended in air, alive with light and motion, its diamonds sparkling like captured starlight. The sorceress's eyes gleamed with triumph, but the queen, though trembling inside, stood firm. "Elara," the queen whispered, her voice trembling, "you must trust me. This is the only way to save our people, to save the kingdom." Elara looked up at her mother, not with fear, but with the serene understanding of a child who sensed the gravity of love and sacrifice. She nodded, her small hand reaching for the veil. The moment her fingers touched the shimmering fabric, magic surged through the chamber like a tidal wave. Light erupted, and the sorceress screamed as the veil absorbed her dark essence. The queen felt her daughter slip from her arms, but instead of dying, Elara's form began to merge with the veil itself. Her golden hair glowed, her eyes shone brighter than ever, and her spirit became one with the magical fabric. She had transformed, not into nothingness, but into a guardian spirit, luminous and eternal, bound to protect the kingdom. The queen fell to her knees, grief-stricken yet relieved. She could sense Elara's presence everywhere. In the shimmer of sunlight across the castle gardens, in the gentle rustle of leaves in the enchanted forests, in the laughter of children that echoed like music through the streets. Though she could no longer hold her daughter in her arms, Elara's spirit remained, watching over the kingdom, guarding it with an invisible yet potent light. Time flowed onward, as it always does. The queen continued to reign, teaching her remaining 6 daughters the ways of courage, wisdom, and magic. Each of them flourished, guided by their mother's love and the invisible presence of Elara, whose light inspired them to greatness. The kingdom thrived, free from the shadows of the sorceress, whose power had been entirely absorbed and neutralized by the veil. Yet the queen's heart remained heavy. Nights were the hardest, when silence enveloped the castle and memories of her youngest daughter came flooding back. She would walk the moonlit gardens, touching the petals of roses, feeling the warmth of the night air, and sensing Elara's gentle laughter carried on the wind. And though her heart ached, she understood a profound truth: love, even when it demands sacrifice, never truly dies. It transforms, grows stronger, and endures beyond the limitations of the mortal world. Years turned into decades. The queen aged, gracefully and with dignity, guiding her daughters and their people. She shared the story of the veil, not as a tale of sorrow, but as a lesson of courage and the boundless power of a mother's love. She taught that true bravery was not measured in the battles one fought but in the sacrifices one could endure for the sake of others. And she reminded them that magic, though wondrous, was powerless compared to the strength of the heart. Legends of the magical veil spread far and wide, whispered among travelers and wandering sages. They spoke of a luminous fabric that glowed under the moon, carrying the essence of a child who had sacrificed herself to protect her people. Some claimed they saw the veil hovering above the highest tower of the castle, shimmering like liquid light. Others said they could hear a faint, joyful laughter, soft as a breeze, that brought comfort and courage to all who listened. The sorceress was never seen again. Her rage and darkness had been fully absorbed into the veil, leaving nothing but silence where her malice had once thrived. The kingdom remained safe, a testament to the courage of one mother and the selflessness of a child who understood love in its purest form. The queen's final days were peaceful, spent in the gardens she had loved so dearly, surrounded by her daughters and the knowledge that Elara's spirit watched over them. She passed quietly, her heart full of love, leaving a legacy of wisdom, courage, and magical protection that would endure for generations. Even now, the veil remains in the kingdom's highest tower, a living testament to sacrifice and love. It is said that those who gaze upon it see not just a magical artifact, but the luminous figure of a golden-haired girl whose spirit protects and guides. The queen's daughters, now queens and leaders in their own right, would tell the tale to their children, reminding them that true love is never measured in possession but in devotion, and that sometimes, the greatest courage is the courage to let go. And so, the kingdom thrived, bathed in light and hope, forever guarded by the magical veil and the eternal spirit of the youngest princess, who had given everything for love, and found immortality in doing so. The story of the Queen of Seven Princesses and the magical veil was told for centuries, growing richer with every telling. It became a story not of sorrow, but of enduring hope, teaching all who heard it that even in the face of impossible choices, love and courage could conquer darkness, and that true magic lies in the hearts of those willing to sacrifice for others. And under the moon's silver gaze, if one listens closely, the laughter of Elara, the youngest and most luminous of princesses, can still be heard, reminding the kingdom of the eternal bond between mother and child, sacrifice and triumph, and light that never fades.